Have you heard of the company named OnePlus before? Well, if you haven't, you're going to want to pay attention. This is a company that makes phones. They make a couple other things, but primarily they make phones, mobile phones, smartphones. And they like to compete against the big guys, against Apple, against Samsung. But what they usually do is they usually come under a flagship. They try to come up with a phone that's very competitive, has almost all the specs, but then just a few less to make it more affordable. Well, not anymore. This is the OnePlus 8 Pro, and this is a true flagship phone. Now, I've had a chance to use this over the last couple of weeks. This phone has been out for a while now, and I gotta say, it's an impressive phone. I've always been a bit of a OnePlus lover, you could say, so you gotta take everything I say with a grain of salt. But that being said, this phone has all of the features that you've been looking for. Right out of the gate, it's got an incredible screen, as you can see here. It's a 6.78-inch screen, and it's also QHD+, which means it's the highest resolution phone. In fact, it's the highest resolution phone that OnePlus has ever made to date, and they actually say it's one of the best screens that you can get on the market today. It's got a super high-end processor, and it's got the Qualcomm 865 processor. So it has all of those flagship specs. But one of the things that they really pride themselves on with this phone is their camera. And if you take a look at the camera bank here on the back, they put 4 cameras into it. It's got a 48 megapixel high quality camera. They say this is one of the best cameras on the market. And from my experience using the camera, it's been excellent. It also has a telephoto lens, which you expect to see in a lot of phones. It has a zoom lens on it for the macro shots, and it's also got a color filter lens. For those people that really want to have artistic type photos, you can sort of mess around with the colors through the actual lens that's in the camera versus the software. Very cool. In addition to the rear cameras on the back, the 4 I mentioned, it also has the front-facing camera. It's kind of interesting. With the OnePlus 7, they actually had a camera that bumped out automatically with a powered mechanism. Probably affected the waterproof rating. But on this one, they've gone back to the notch, which is what most of the manufacturers are doing, and it's a 16 megapixel camera. Great selfies, takes excellent pictures. If you want a high resolution screen and you want a really good quality camera, the OnePlus 8 Pro is a premium flagship phone to look at. One of the things that I loved about getting this phone from OnePlus is that it came shipped with an entire catalog. So they gave me all the features and everything to read about, but I've actually been using it myself and experiencing the phone for all it has to offer. I love the glass screen on it. It's got the IP68 rating, so it's got the waterproof that you're looking for in any smartphone. It has the wireless charging built in as well. This was a big thing for me because up until now, OnePlus didn't go with the wireless charging solution. So when they shipped this phone, they actually built what's called their Warp charging, and that's their fast charge technology. They built that into the wireless. So I can get a 50% charge from dead wirelessly on their charger in like less than half an hour. So that's a great feature for me. When I say their charger, you have to use the specific OnePlus charger in order to get that Warp technology. And then when you have that charger, it doesn't actually charge other devices at the same speed. So you want to keep that in mind if that's important to you. But overall, really happy to see that feature. Just talk about storage a little bit. Comes with 8 or 12 gigs of RAM, depending on which one you order. For the most part, I would say that this is one of the best phones that OnePlus has ever come out with, and I'm so happy to have it. They also came out with the OnePlus 8. So instead of the Pro, you have the 8 as well. The 8 is just knocked down a few levels. Doesn't have quite the same processing speed, doesn't have the same quality of screen resolution and whatnot, but also doesn't come with the same price tag. You're looking at sort of $1,400 range for the flagship version, and you can get the OnePlus 8 with just a few less features, not including the wireless charging, unfortunately. So a couple different options to choose from, but so grateful to OnePlus for coming out with a phone that now is no longer under the flagships, but right in there with the rest of them.